And we're back on the Friends of Kevin radio show. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, send me an email to kevin@friendsofkevin.com. To learn more about the benefits of membership in the Friends of Kevin networking group, please check out the website at friendsofkevin.com. Or you can always become a fan on Facebook at facebook.com/friendsofkevin. And of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Friends of Kevin. So I got my buddy Mark with us from MyCloudCure. Mark, good afternoon. Welcome to the Friends of Kevin radio show.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I appreciate you taking the time out of the day. So let's start at the beginning. What is MyCloudCure?
So MyCloudCure, we're a new company here. We're local out of Nashua, and it's MyCloudCure.com. We're an online-based company. We're changing the home and business IT experience. We're an online, pay-as-you-go, simple, reliable, and affordable remote support provider. Our onshore technicians support almost any device within an hour. All sessions begin with a free diagnosis, and it's only $49.99 per service, and it's backed with a full 30-day guarantee. So we're a more simple tech support element out there, using new systems and providing it with a smile and thanking our customers through the process.
So I want to backtrack for a second. So $49.99, you can, through remote access, solve people's IT problems.
Exactly, yes. So for a flat rate, we don't bill per hour. We don't charge per year or per month to support your needs. So that's why we're the pay-as-you-go element. So when you need the help, you can contact our technical team through the website or over the phone, and our team is trained to be able to provide you a free diagnosis initially. That's where you get to meet the technician, and mutually, both you and the technician understand what your problem is. And once both you as the customer and the technician understand what that issue is, they'll go ahead and then offer you a service to be able to provide a solution to that problem. And typically it's like a tune-up or a training, virus removal, software training, things like that.
That's what's amazing to me is the price point, because, you know, it's a real challenge now as when we spoke offline. You know, I use someone like myself as an example. I started Friends of Kevin 4 years ago, spent, I think it was $335 on my laptop, you know, big initial investment there. But now, you know, if it breaks, I don't want to pay somebody X dollars per hour to come out and fix it when I'm like, oh, wow, it took them 3-4 hours to fix it. Well, that's pretty much the cost to replace that laptop. But for $50, like you said, it's just, you know, getting a little clunky, running a little slow. You guys can come in, clean it up, remove whatever viruses, spyware, whatever it may be, or any other type of issue you're having, and get me back up and running. Yeah, I want to talk to you about that then.
Absolutely. And Kevin, I would guess, and this is just a personal statistic, I'm not pulling this from anywhere, but I would think at least 80 to 90% of most problems that people have, whether it's on a desktop, a laptop, a smartphone, a tablet, a Mac, or a PC, it doesn't matter. At least 80 to 90% of the problems that exist can be supported remotely. Remote support technology has been out for at least 10 years now, so it's been refined over and over again. So the newer technologies that are there make it so easy for the technician as well as the customer on the phone to be able to work with that technician, and it doesn't take hours and hours. So that's why we've been able to refine what we do in a very optimized way, and that's why it's the flat rate price. One of the best prices that I think most people will find. You know, there might be a cheaper price on Craigslist or something, but then you don't know who you're working with.
Amen to that.
You don't want to have to... Go ahead.
No, I say amen to that. Like I said, someone I don't know is remoting into my computer. What could possibly go wrong?
Right, exactly. And that's why we give the 30-day guarantee. And what's nice with that, Kevin, is if a customer has a tune-up done and about 2 or 3 weeks into it, they're like, oh, wow, this is really slow again. I'm not sure why my computer's slow. I just paid for a service. That's why all of our technicians work behind a guarantee of the 30 days. So if you call back within those 30 days, it doesn't matter if you talk to a different technician. Any of the techs on the team will help support the work done by the other techs.
So now, Mark, why don't we talk a little bit about, you know, the cloud and what does it mean to help me remotely for those who aren't familiar with the technology?
So absolutely. The best way to assimilate the word cloud is to say, okay, this is also something known as online. You know, cloud is being thrown around in a lot of different ways these days. It's a term used to describe virtual systems or anything that's hosted on the internet. So typically it's cloud storage, you know, Kevin, like the iCloud and OneDrive and things that exist out there already for people to back up their data. But we don't have anything to do with data or with backup. But what we do with MyCloudCure is we provide you a technical cure from the cloud. So by providing that, we support your tech needs by using our cutting-edge support technology. And so you're serviced from the cloud in that experience over the internet and online, or over the phone as well.
Now, like I said, I really love that because, that's always the challenge, especially, whether I was my days in corporate or as a small business owner. For me, my computer is how I make a living. So if I'm not online, I'm not making money. And, I would like the whole, remote in, so I don't have to wait for you to drive from someplace that may be an hour from my home. Hey, I got this issue. Here's the problem. You guys remote in, you fix it, I'm back up and running, and affordably too, because we've all been in that situation where, you bring in a tech and, whatever the billable hour is, and they're like, well, it's probably going to take, 2 or 3 hours to fix this, and you're sitting there going, well, that's going to be a couple $100, do I pay that, or do I just get something new? So it seems like
Absolutely.
You guys have found a way to eliminate that and stuff. So now what devices can you help me with? Can you handle smartphones too?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we can support almost any device as long as it can be connected to the internet. Web TVs, any type of computer, whether it be laptops or desktops. It doesn't matter if it's a Macintosh or if it's a Windows device. Pretty much anything we can support as long as you can get on the internet with it, and as long as you can get in touch with one of our technicians, whether it's over the MyCloudCure.com or if you give us a call. Our local number here is 603-242-1036. So either way, once you get on the phone with the tech, we'll provide you that diagnostic, and that's really when we'll try to find out, hey, can we connect in? Can we service this? So, for example, Kevin, if you had a device that you just bought and you don't know how to get it on your Wi-Fi, that's going to be an issue. And a lot of times we can't support a device unless it can get on the internet.
Sure.
So by talking to our tech, we can actually walk you through the process. Just to go back to the point you just made before, which I really like, a lot of customers, they don't know that remote support is an option. A lot of people know that they can go down to their local IT shop, they can go to a big box retailer and drop off their computer. But what you'll find is, of course, the expense. Absolutely, it's going to be over $100 anytime you want to get something fixed with your computer. It's just not worth it in the long haul. Plus the time for driving and the gas to be able to get somewhere and back, and then you find out it's going to be another 2 weeks till it can be repaired. That's just how IT always has been. But now with the invention of the technology we have, it's such a more simple way to go about it. So no matter if you're a grandmother that needs a tune-up once a year to a family that has a couple laptops because their kids got viruses on them, even if you're a small business and you can't afford a $30,000 or $40,000 a year IT guy to support your needs, this is when the option comes into play. You just let us know, or you just let your employees know about us, and we have a couple customers that are between the 10 and 20 employees range. They're real estate agencies and realtors that need a tech support option, but they can't afford a monthly commitment. So when they have that problem, they just give us a call.
Yeah, like I said, I really love that point, especially for, small businesses, but people who aren't just mom and pop's one employee. You end up in that challenging point where it's like, okay, do I invest and go out and get an IT person and I'm paying them all this money to keep the network up and running? But the hard part about that as a business owner is you look and say, look at Mark sitting over there in the corner, nothing's really going on today. Well, okay, so now I'm paying Mark, but but when I need him, I need him. Well, in your situation, like I said, if I have an IT issue, we simply make the call and have you guys remote in. It saves me that big overhead. Because plus the other thing that it saves me, Mark, as a former IT guy, is I've spent a full day fixing a problem that I really didn't know how to fix, but through Google and guessing, hey, I fixed it. Well, Kev, it took you 7 hours out of your day at your hourly rate to fix something that you could have got fixed for $49.
Yeah, I'm a local guy myself, and I hear what you're saying with that. I think the biggest thing that you can see with technology, and the first thing I learned when I went to NHTI up in Concord, is where I got my degree, an associate's degree in computer information systems many years ago. First thing I learned from my professors there, and the thing that I'll always remember is they said is it's not about knowing it's not about knowing the fix. It's about knowing where to go to find the fix.
Amen to that.
There's so many different things that can come up. If it's one thing, it's another. So you just have to know where to go to find the resource. And the nice thing with these technicians that we have, these cloud support technicians, they're better than I am. I started in IT. IT is my trade, but I also have a passion for sales and marketing. I'm a small business owner here in New Hampshire, but I also work a day job in IT at a major healthcare facility up here in New Hampshire. And I've been here for about 10 years. So I really learned what corporate IT was like, and I was also that technician that customers would talk to on the phone. And I learned what it was like to support the needs of the customers. And we've partnered up with a great team on the West Coast. It's NerdDeck Incorporated. They're partnered with my company, MC Computer Incorporated, for MyCloudCure.com. And these technicians are the best of the best. I'm finding that even though I started with technology, these guys know more than I do. I don't know Macintosh. I don't know certain aspects of Linux, and these techs know everything, a little about everything. And so that really comes into play when you need your problem fixed efficiently and affordably. These are the technicians that you should work with at MyCloudCure.
You know, the part that I still keep going back to is just how affordable it is, because like you said, you're paying per issue, you're not paying per, hour. And that's, to me, is just amazing, how affordable you've been able to make this. So,
Absolutely.
You must get that question all the time. How and why is it so affordable?
Yeah, I would say so. And it just comes down to being that it doesn't need to be overpriced. I think you find a lot of things out there are overpriced in the ways that they want to charge you $80 just to come in and bring the computer to the local shop and look at it, and then they're going to try to upsell you on one thing or another. And it's just, customers expect a full service experience. They expect to be helped in a quick and affordable manner. They don't understand that the technology can be very in-depth, and that's part of our responsibility to be able to provide you that. And that's why we deduce your problems down, Kevin, to a service. So within that first 15-minute free experience, which I don't think anybody else really does out there, we want to see what your problem is and if we can fix it. And if we find a problem and if we can find a fix, the customers typically at that point go, yeah, absolutely, let's get this taken care of. And the nice thing then, too, is the customer doesn't have to stay on the phone for hours and hours and hours and wait for somebody to fix their problem. They're just able to work immediately with that tech, and the tech can stay on the computer and provide the fix for another hour or so. So it may take 2 hours to do a tune-up for one customer, but then only 30 minutes for another.
Sure.
So that's why it's the flat rate service. We don't charge per hour.
And you brought up a great point, because once you guys have remoted in, you no longer really need the client to sit there with you. You can just call them back and say, hey, Kev, congratulations, it's all set, right?
Exactly. We call them back. We always confirm at the end of the service, hey, was this taken care of? Are your needs met? And the really nice thing there, too, is not only are you working with a technician who's extremely qualified to help you, Kevin, but then you've also got a client relations department, which is a whole other element to MyCloudCure. It really encompasses the simple, reliable, and affordable element. Because what we'll do as client relations managers, and as the owner of the company, I'm one of the client relations managers as well, I'll actually pull up a customer session. I was just doing it last night at the end of a long week for me, getting ready to go to bed, and I see a call came through, and a case was taken care of yesterday. So I stayed up, and I listened to the call, and I then called the customer afterwards and thanked them for their business. And that's all lost in translation in today's day and age. People don't thank people anymore. Everybody knew Joe the Butcher. Joe the Butcher took care of my family for 20 years
Sure.
at our local butcher shop. That's what we're looking to do is provide that consistency that you're looking for, but also the thank you at the end of the service. But more importantly, I think once a customer finds a tech that they really like, for example, one of our best technicians is Daniel, as well as Coben, James, several technicians. Customers have found that they want to go back to that same tech.
Sure,
if you call
absolutely.
a big box retailer, you can't work with that next guy because that next tech is just another tech in a call center. But with us, we're in-house, homegrown technicians, handpicked. And if you like Kobe, you can work with Kobe every time, and that's a value-added service I don't think you can find anywhere else.
Yeah, like I said, I like that a lot, thinking back to my corporate IT days. They're just people you click with. I mean, it could be just total coincidence that, hey, I love this guy because he solved my problem really quick. Well, because it wasn't that hard to solve. But yeah, just as people you click with and, hey, this is my go-to guy. This is a girl. This is who I want to be able to take care of me. And I like the fact that I can go back. And the nice thing is, too, is that, it builds that relationship where they may say, oh, yeah, I remember that problem last time, Kevin, and this is how, we went about fixing that. So it helps to, be able to have that. Like I said, if you want it, that's the key thing and stuff. So.
Right. And you want to talk to somebody you can relate to, somebody that speaks English, that's home, somebody from the United States, and typically that's lost in translation when companies try to keep it cheap.
Sure.
Then it goes overseas, and then that's never a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it just, you have someone like myself, especially when I'm having an IT issue, I can be very high-strung about it. So I want somebody that, can help me out and try to keep me calm at the same time, I always used to joke back in my IT days, that people get really stressed out when their computer's broken. And I used to chuckle. I'm like, okay, tell me about one time that there was a problem we haven't fixed. You can't. Sometimes it's a sitcom. It's going to take 30 minutes, before we tell the beaver that we still love him and stuff. Sometimes it can turn into a drama or even a miniseries where it might take a couple days, but it always gets solved. And that's what you have to remember in IT. It will always get solved.
And it's always affordable if you get it done the first time.
Yeah.
If you have to do it 2 or 3 times, it takes time and money out of multiple people. And I think you'll find that more often than not when people don't take responsibility for the work that they're doing, when they're just punching a clock and they don't care about your problems at a deep level. I've listened to some of our technicians actually take the time to Google search something for the customer and provide them some additional information completely free of charge as part of the service experience. So that's just something that you don't find elsewhere, and sometimes customers need that. They need that helping hand through the process, and we want to be there for them every step of the way.
Yeah, no, like I said, because as we started the conversation, people get really emotional when their computer doesn't work. I know it happened to my wife, a couple weeks ago, and she's like, I have a lot of stuff to do. I don't have time to wait. That's how everyone feels when there's an issue with their computer. You guys have found the way, through the remote support to go in there, fix it up, get them back up going as quick as you can. That's just, and at the price point is just beyond belief and stuff. So, hey, Mark, we are coming to the end of the segment. Just need to grab your contact information before I let you run.
Yeah, absolutely. So anybody can reach us at MyCloudCure.com. Also, you can give us a call. The local number is 603-242-1036. If you have any questions, you can email us. It's contact@MyCloudCure.com. You can also look us up on Facebook and Twitter. It's facebook.com/MyCloudCure, as well as twitter.com/MyCloudCure. Thank you so much, Kevin, and we really enjoyed being part of the group.
Hey, thank you. Have a great day. Appreciate you taking the time to call in, and as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you. Take care.
You listen to Friends of Kevin Radio Show right here on WSMN 1590 in Nashville, online at WSMNradio.com. Got to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back on the Friends of Kevin Radio Show.